Hello everyone. So we're back. Back with this thing. It's definitely been a challenge so far. The main thing that was the challenge was finding this NEMA motor. So with the original one, it has a dual shaft, which means it has one shaft here and one shaft here. And XTools must have them very locked down because I couldn't find any on the market anywhere. Must be making them just for them. I looked at the company. They don't sell them on their website. There's no one else out there that really sells them. The closest I could find was a 4240 motor and the Ender, but that one didn't really want to. I didn't really want to pay $40 for that, so I found this one. It has relatively the same specs and everything, from a company called I'm trying to remember the name of the company. Hold on. This one right here. And they are, there's the part number. Now, what you'll have to do is I'll put if you're gonna try this, and you get one of these motors, the problem is that they do not come wired appropriately for your board. So I had to clip off the wire that was on there. It was a one of the black connectors. I'll put the name of it here on the screen. And you actually have to, it uses a JST connector for the actual motherboard. So I clipped off that. And what I did was I took one of these connectors and just kind of I didn't set them in there just yet. What I did was I just let it kind of rested them in there, and I played around with the configuration of the wires. And once I got it in the correct spot where it was rotating in the correct orientation, because I had to hook it up to my 40 watt because I didn't want to pull out the motherboard just yet. And when I hooked it up to the 40 watt board, I jogged it backwards and made sure it was rotating counterclockwise, so that way it would push the axis back, and then it would rotate forward or clockwise when I did the positive axis instead of the, well, I guess it's backwards on the XTools. But so basically that's it. I mean, this was the hardest part, getting this. Now you're gonna need 4 2.5 by 30 bolts, and I had these just laying around. So what I did was I reamed out the middle of them. I used the 25 millimeter plus one of these little nylon nuts, and I drilled out the hole 1/8 of an with a 1/8 bit, so that the 2.5 M2.5 bolt would just go through, and I tightened these down. And so now we got the motor secured. I had these 5 millimeter rods already. So what I did was I went ahead and I bought a couple couplers to put them together, and now I've got it just about the right length. I gotta adjust it a little bit. I just need to, because I've got it pushed in there as far as it'll go, so I can adjust this out a little bit so it'll fit perfectly. The last thing I did so far was I did 2 prints. I did this one, which is the back plate. Now I didn't run out of the other PLA, so I used a different PLA, but I think it looks decent and it's not gonna detract from the aesthetics too much. I did weld it together. I'm gonna fill that in with some something. I welded it together. It's pretty strong. I'm thinking about reinforcing it as well. So this is the back plate, and it just sits on the back there. They are a little bit longer than they need to be, but I can always just trim them off. And the back plate just sits there. Now I will drill holes for the actual mounting holes, but I didn't want to put those in the print just because I wanted to be able to manually do that in case my measurements were a little off. And that's the front plate. I did the same thing with the front plate, and it fits perfectly. So now we're almost there. I'm just waiting on a couple more parts today. These were the hardest thing to come by, other than the motor, like the second hardest thing to come by. So I had to make these. These are basically the belt tensioning clips in the back. I printed them, but I had a few issues with them at first when I printed them. I printed them vertically, and they weren't strong enough to hold the weight, so they would just snap. So I ended up printing them horizontally, which is a tip for you guys. If you need something strong and you need it to be a certain orientation when you're printing them out, or when you're using them, and you need them to be strong, it's best to go with the plane of that is where the force is going to be. In this case, the force is going to be horizontal, so I printed it horizontal. If I'm getting the parts to finish these up today, and hopefully by the next video we should be ready to test it. I'll go ahead and get holes drilled and try and figure out what else needs to be done. I'm going to need to get some feet for it, but I don't know what I'm going to plan on doing for that. I just want to see it run first before I do that, before I worry about the feet. Alright, well, that was just a quick update on the machine. I'm thinking about, I've named all my machines, so I'm thinking about naming this one Phoenix. What do you guys think? If you like that name, comment down below. If you don't like it, then suggest another name, and I might consider it. Alright, have a good one. Thanks. And if you like this video, subscribe. Like the video, it helps me out. It definitely helps me out to grow and this video to be seen more. I want people to see this video so that they can see that things are possible if you put your mind to it. Alright, have a good one. Thanks.